Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade in the
Shade in the
City. I'm
City.
Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are here to get right back into marriage. Was it marriage? Married. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Married at First Sight, episode 4, y'all. And I'm just loving the vibes, and they go to my favorite place, and it's just
I was about to say,
so
that's what you
exciting.
like.
I can't wait to delve in. So let's get right. And if y'all started following me on Twitter, and thank you guys, make sure you hit the like video as you're coming in. But I do realize that the Twitter followers went up, so I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for listening. And if y'all saw me on Twitter when this was on, I lit Alyssa's ass up. I can't stand her. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that before we even start the review. So if you were an Alyssa fan, please bow out gracefully, but thank you for the view. So let's get into it and let's get shady.
I think you already have.
All right, we get into wedding night, guys. And Nels, I'm going to let you take this because I'm going to take a very good portion for one of these people. So go ahead. I'm going to let you.
All right, so I'm going to zip y'all through it because I know she's going to take up a lot of time to talk about one of these couples here. So Olajuwon and
I got notes.
Olajuwon and Katina, they have their first night, and Olajuwon is basically saying how he used to be so selfish and really not one for relationships, but he's like super happy that he has a wife. He's looking forward to the future. With Katina, he's super super happy.
He's smitten like a kitten.
Little smitten kitten. Then we're going to move on to Lindsay and Mark the Shark. Lindsay opens up about the relationship with her mother, and how she doesn't have, how she has a bad relationship with her mother. And, apparently the mother sent her a pretty nasty email.
No, she sent it to someone else. The mother sent an email to someone else, and I guess they shared it with Lindsay. And basically, Lindsay had invited her to the wedding, and instead of sending it to Lindsay, she sent it to somebody else saying, "I'm probably not coming," and talk shit about Lindsay.
Yeah, I don't even understand that type of dysfunction. And
I actually can really appreciate Lindsay because sometimes we're protecting our peace in 2022. Sometimes you have to put up boundaries with people, because if not, this will start to affect your mental health. So I can appreciate that, even though it is her mother, she's like, I don't want that toxic shit around me.
So she asked Mark about, hey, what's going on with your mom? And, he basically said, at one point she just stopped putting herself together. She stopped doing her makeup, stopped doing her hair. And then once his dad passed, she stopped going to the bathroom. And at that point, he had to put her in a home. And, Lindsay understood, she can relate. I believe she was a nurse at one point. She recognized that she's going through a deep, dark depression. I love their dynamic because,
as we said before, we clearly see the matchmakers hit. Let's hope, but right now it's a hard yes. And the more we see them talk and get on deeper than surface level, the more we realize that they really are. If they don't work, it's going to be because of personality traits, or he's nasty or something like that. But it's going to be, to me, it's going to be something minor, because it seems like foundational, everything looks good.
Yeah. And Steve and Noi, they're just so cute.
They are cute.
Steve gives Noi her ring pop again.
He gets down on one knee and gives her the ring pop.
Like, but I ain't proposed before. I ain't get a chance to do it before. So here you go with this big old rock. And I don't know if she like ring pops. Them shits they're good. So I'd have been happy as fuck. Basically, and then Noi, she goes in the bathroom. She's like, I feel it's kind of weird. I'm taking off my makeup. I'm about to get into bed with a total stranger that I just married. So, I can understand. Like, you don't even, I don't know, like this. Imagine like being on the first date and then ending up spending the night. You're taking off your makeup and like, but this is somebody you're married to. You plan to spend the rest of your life with, and you have to get totally comfortable from day one, basically. And
I wore a bonnet for 5 years before I let my man see me. No, actually, I didn't wear a bonnet.
I was gonna say, you did what?
I didn't wear a bonnet for 5 years.
But that's okay. You can do the silk pillowcase and be,
I wouldn't do that. Okay. I didn't just get up and struggle with my hair because I didn't want him to see me with bonnet on or scarf on or no stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's our couple's name over here, Trace?
Which one? Yasmina and Michael?
Jasmine.
I'm sorry, I do keep calling her.
You got me saying it. Jesus Christ. Jasmina and Michael. I don't know. They're like, I just love them. I think I just really love Jasmina. Like, she's just like the shit to me. Basically, Michael, he says it to the camera, not to Jasmina, because I'm sure he don't want to scare her away. He's like, like he's always been ready for like his wife, his kids, family, but he doesn't want to get too wrapped up in positivity, I guess, from what he said, that, they don't touch on like real things, like real issues that could come up in their relationship.
I get what he's saying. The way he worded it might have been bad, but I understand what he's saying. He's saying like he doesn't want to get into this blissful, happy, and it goes, and then the first time hit the
but this is the time. This is the time to do it, though. This is the time to be blissful.
And I agree with you. Why would you want to throw some bumps in the road now? Like, let's just chill out. It's only we only been married for 24 hours. You already think about how to fuck shit up.
Exactly. So, and then they're laying in the bed, and he's discussing with her the conversation that he had with her dad, and she's like, "Don't listen to anything that man says because he thinks I'm bossy as hell." Like, but Jasmina does give me a little bossy. Like, nigga, I'm a bad bitch. You gonna do what the fuck I say? Okay. And then we're gonna move on to Teresa's favorite couple. Y'all, Trace, take it away.
I wouldn't say it's favorite. It's my favorite couple to talk about. Okay. So look, I don't even need my notes for this one. I'm freelancing. I'm improvising on this one. Okay. Alyssa, I'm going to speak directly to you. Okay. I don't know you, but you give me evil. You give me now Nels, as we were watching a couple scenes, and again, like I tell y'all, we watch these things a couple times before we come and review it for y'all. So Nels can tell you, I am very big on playing devil's advocate. I will try to find anything and anybody to make you seem like a good person, or try to find a reason for your fucked upness. And
she's not lying.
Exactly. And I can't find any. You give me prissy, privileged, pretentious. But as we see, Alyssa's leaving her husband on their wedding night. She could have slept on the couch. It looks like she could have slept on the couch.
Or I bet you he would have
slept on the couch.
I bet you he would have. He would have, in order to make her feel comfortable, he would have slept on the couch. But you had to know, you've clearly watched the show because you signed up for it. You had to know that this was coming. You're expected to sleep in the room with your husband. You're expected to be with your husband. What it's giving me is he was not physically what she wanted. She's not physically attracted to him.
And that's why you got on a show and married somebody you completely didn't know, because clearly, Alyssa, the way you've been dating and the way you've been picking your men
isn't working
and hasn't worked out for you. And you are very lucky that this timer is about to go off, boo. But there is more time in this show. Oh, it's coming.
So Jasmina and Michael, I appreciate the fact that he brought her breakfast. I think it's super cute, super dope. Basically, you know, he's saying like, you know, that he feeling his girl because she down to earth, she cool as fuck. He fuck with her. And he's like, I thought it was cute. He tested her like, do you even know my last name or your last name? She's like, my name is Jasmina Morency. I don't know why I think that name sounds so cute. Like Jasmina Morency. Or maybe I'm just being biased. But I think it's cute. I think I think, you know, got a little ring to it. Then we got Mark and Lindsay. I love that, you know, Mark is like, you know, it feels normal, like to wake up next to her. It doesn't feel like, you know, he's waking up next to a stranger. And this is, you know, this is his wife, but they just got married the night before, just met the night before. And it feels normal to him. He's like, I can do this shit. I can do this every day. I can do this shit for the rest of my life. She was drinking some matcha. And I know a lot of y'all probably know what matcha is.
What is matcha?
It tastes like some powdery, too green shit. That's what the fuck it tastes like. That's what the fuck it tastes like.
Right.
He let her. I mean, I'm sorry. She let him taste it. He's like, nah, nigga, give me my juice back. This shit is. Ugh. I'm good. I'm good on that. And then we got Stephen Noy. Apparently, you know, there was no sex, but they did cuddle. So he's a cuddler. And, you know, he said, like, it felt natural to him as well. Like, they have beautiful, amazing chemistry. And look, y'all, there's breakfast. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Think about me in the morning. Think about my stomach. And a bitch might be hungry, okay, after drinking all fucking night, okay? So I'm talking about. Now, Olajuwon didn't do that. Olajuwon stayed his ass in the motherfucking bed with his hot ass motherfucking morning breath, breathing all up in Katina's face.
No, he actually did say that her breath was very refreshing.
No. I said his breath.
No.
I know he said that her breath didn't smell. I said he was breathing all up in her face. She ain't say shit about his breath. She ain't say shit about breakfast because she didn't get none. I mean, you know, I'm just saying.
Maybe she doesn't like breakfast either. Maybe they just wanted to have. But anyway,
she's a foodie, Treese. Did you forget? She blogs food.
Uh-oh. Well,
yeah. She blogs food. That could have been a picture for her blog had you got her nice fucking breakfast the morning after your fucking wedding night. I'm just saying. But, you know, they had a conversation about how he used to be a cheater, but not really a cheater because he never put a title or whatever bitch he was fucking. Sir, you know what? I mean, I appreciate the fact that Katina was so understanding, especially with the history that she has. But I'd have been like, nigga, what type of slimy nigga is you? So you just out here fucking bitches and feel like, you know, you're validated because you didn't put a title on it. So you can go fuck a bunch of other bitches. You're fucking disgusting.
Oh.
Or were disgusting. We hope that's not you anymore. Katina basically lets him know, like, you know, she used to be a party girl, you know, and you know what comes along with being a party girl. She used to get down sometimes, you know. He like, well,
Real
I'd rather find out from you to find out from
down
somebody else.
on the floor. Real girls get down on the. I'm here with you, Casita. I'm just saying.
I just like that she was honest about it. You know what I mean? Clearly, he knows ain't no reason to ask how many niggas you been with because she letting him know, like letting him know, like, you know, I've been there. I gotta pass, nigga. I gotta pass. I used to live that life. Okay. Then we have this sour ass bitch, Alyssa.
I was like, please don't let me get into it. I was just gonna let you do what you do.
I know we'll be here all fucking day. Fucking shit. Basically, you know, she's letting him know like they didn't vibe and that they're not compatible. They're like two different people. Like their everyday life would be totally different. They have different hobbies. And I'm confused. How did you learn all of this in less than 24 hours? You just met this man yesterday. And you didn't even really have a conversation with him except for the one at 2:30 in the morning when you was explaining to him that you didn't want to fuck with him. So you know what though? This is how you know he's such a good dude. He's so, because I would have put her out on fucking Front Street. How did you come up with this? Because apparently, you know, girl, apparently we were put together for a reason. So all the shit that you saying is bullshit. All the shit that you coming up with in less than 24 hours is bullshit. There has been research done here. But you know what? There's no need for you to even argue with this bitch. If the bitch don't want to be with you, nigga, fuck her. Let her keep on dealing with a nigga that act like he want to be with her, takes her to fucking look at rings, and then leaves her a fucking week later. It just pisses me off because he seems like such a good fucking dude. And that's what every bitch on this show wants. And you got it. And I'm saying she ain't the only one that got a good dude. I mean, he to me, he just gives one of the most genuine besides Mark the Shark.
Now, I will say this. I will chime in. He does give me yes man, and I know I'm not attracted to that. However, I have been with yes men, and I've had the respect to tell them this is not going to work because of this. And
I'm sure it took you less than 24 hours to figure that out. She did not even give this man a chance.
It took me more than.
She didn't give him a chance. She's if that's the vibe she's getting that vibe in less than 24 hours. And that's 24 hours, not counting the fact we can say less than 5 hours, because within that 24 hours, you had to get married, y'all partied, y'all talked to each other's family and friends. Y'all really didn't get a chance to get to know each other at all. Y'all didn't have a real sit-down conversation. So if that's the vibe you're getting, bitch, explore that. She's not even doing that. And that's what's disgusting.
No, I'm not here for her. So I'm not disagreeing with you by any means.
I have Jasmina. Well, first, everybody is meeting, you know, their significant other, I'm sorry, their spouses, family, and or friends. Okay. So first we have Jasmina, and she is meeting with Michael's sisters. And they ask her, you know, how was your night?
Did you consummate?
She's like, it was fun. Did you consummate the marriage? She's like, no, you know, we did not have sex. They talk about, you know, how they loved her dress, which so did I. But apparently her family did, and they told her that it was too extra. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful.
No, she said because I'm a little extra. Like
because she said she's extra. But you know, the sisters let her know, like, you know, that he is like a loving person. So they just want her to be nice and to be patient. And she asked how is he when he gets mad? And they're just like, he just kind of walks away, cools off, and then comes back and deals with it. Now, they did warn her that he is the type to assume the worst at first. And what Jasmina said was, this is a red flag for her. She ain't really feeling that, because she's more of a positive person. So to have someone who their first thought is to be negative about everything, I can understand. Jasmina likes to be known that she has only ever been in long distance relationships, which to me as a sister would be a red flag to me. So everyone that she was with has always lived in another state. So you've never actually.
But she also said that she was also cheated on a lot too. There was a lot of infidelity, and that's why.
Which would make sense. I mean, does anybody really take long distance relationships serious?
I do.
I mean, with a plan maybe to move together eventually.
Oh, okay. See, I always had a plan to move.
But I would think if all your relationships are long distance, I don't know if you plan to move in all of them. That I'm just assuming.
After the first two, I would have been done with the long distance relationship.
Especially if you got cheated on in those. I mean, you'd have to go off the phone call, like basically like you were saying. So, they ask her, like, what are you looking for? What do you want out of this marriage? And, she's like that she wants longevity. She's looking to have kids, and they're just like, I love you. I just love you. And she's like, I love you guys too. Like, I don't know.
That was really cute. I did like that.
I love their sister-in-law dynamic that they got going on. Now we are going to get over to Michael, because Michael didn't have as such a easy time. Basically, so Michael sat down with the mother, Kimberly, and basically she expressed that she's feeling a little bit more comfortable now with the process, but she still does have some concerns. She lets him know that her concern is always her safety. It's always Jasmina's safety, and really all we know about you is what we know now, because all of this shit is superficial. Okay, my fault. Did I go black first?
Did you die?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was dying. I was dying for a second. Excuse me, Shade Squad. I'm sorry. I need to plug my shit up, okay? So, she lets him know, like, all this shit is superficial, basically. And he's like, yo, this mom is tough. Like, and she is, basically, this is her baby. And, basically.
And not even
her
baby. Not even her baby. So imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's like.
To another woman's role. So therefore, she assumes this is what I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I'm here for her mother. Because when they say bonus mom, this is the definition of a bonus mom. She is not a stepmother. She is a bonus mom. I feel like she's more protective than a normal mom would be.
I thought it was cool how, okay, so she asked, what are your examples of a marriage? And he basically said he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any examples of a marriage, but he does have 5 sisters, and he was raised by his mother and his aunt. So he knows, women and what they expect. And she was like, that's concerning and exciting at the same time. And to me, I was like, how is it concerning? But what she said was, it's concerning because you don't have an example of what a
successful marriage looks like.
Exactly.
We are here, and that'll probably get edited out anyway. So we're here with Brunch with the Family, and it is Noy and Steve. We get to meet Noy's brother sister, Sriracha. We see her other sister. I didn't get her name.
The younger brother, Michael, that we met at the wedding.
Oh, is that him?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why did I think Michael was sitting beside him? I guess that was her dad, right?
Oh,
You
I don't know. I didn't see
know
who
what's
said.
so crazy is I did not make the connection. I literally thought this was another one of her siblings.
You know, he said it.
I didn't catch his name the first one. I didn't know who his name was. So that's why I thought
They showed the clip, Trish.
they look like they got 10 kids. So it just didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't register with me that this was
You know what? You know what? We just gonna give you a pass.
Thank you.
We're just gonna give you a pass.
And then we Steve's mom and dad sit down with Noy. They discuss with Noy, or Noy asked about, basically, let's get to the it of it all. He ain't got no job. His dad is concerned about it.
Whoa. Okay. We're not doing Steve like that. Okay. We ain't doing Steve like that. What we gonna talk about is some great qualities about Steve.
We're gonna try to make some roses and shit out of it. Smell like poo.
Okay, so
it smell like
the dad. Don't do that. The dad tells Noy, I noticed, the cultural garments that you had on. And Noy actually she started crying. She was like, yes. And I gave one to Steve to wear. And he was so receptive. Like he had no problem wearing it. And she loved that. Then, well, she also said, she's like, the dad is like, I think he really likes you. She's like, really? Because he's hard to read. And they're like, yeah, but he's the type of person you just have to ask him, because yes, he is hard to read. You need to ask him what you want to know. And basically the dad does say, I know in most marriages, you expect your spouse to be employed. So how do you feel? And he said, he's kind of like a vagabond. And
that was a great definition of Steve. I'm so sorry.
I couldn't believe he used that word. I could not believe he used that word. But
it is though.
Basically, she said that, that's something that they haven't discussed yet, but they definitely need to. And, they're like, well, how would you feel if it didn't work? And Noy's little sweet ass, she's like, I would be devastated because we're in such a great place right now. Like, shit is so great. I would be devastated if it didn't work. Now we're gonna move on to Noy's family. So we sit down with Noy's family, and like I stated, Sriracha is Michael, the spicy younger brother. So Sriracha is the spicy version, but I think Michael was spicy even without being Sriracha. Michael was spicy on his own. He didn't need to be Sriracha to be spicy. But he did ask, Steve a couple questions. He's like, so why did you travel? Did you find yourself like eat, pray, love and shit?
I love when he said that. Because I say that, I'd be like, so did you eat, pray, and love?
I was like, I did. Okay, all right, Sriracha. So Michael, he's like, no, I didn't need to find myself. I needed to reconnect with myself. And the sister, I didn't get the sister's name, but she's like, so I understand you do freelance. He's like, yeah,
like, how long do you plan?
Yeah, because you're 38 and don't you want kids?
And when do you plan on having kids? Yeah.
And Sriracha is like, when do you plan on being financially responsible? And the mama just put it out on the table. Look, if you plan on having kids, you got to have a job first. Point blank period. And looked at her kids like, what I said wrong? And it seemed from I don't know if it's editing or what, but it looked like that shut Michael the fuck up. I'm sorry, not Michael. That shut Steve the fuck up. He had nothing to say. That was done. Look, Trace and scene. Lindsay is out with Mark's friends, and they're discussing what Mark likes, what he eats. They're like, I'm so glad Mark the shark is gone because he eats bullshit. And she's like, yeah, I noticed he likes goldfish.
Okay. So can we talk about this?
Let's talk about
myself, and I feel like the reason y'all be really here is because y'all want to hear about them, but do you want to hear about us? So I myself can say that unfortunately I have dated a man like this that just eats trash, right? Or will only eat chicken or whatever and it irritates.
I've been there too.
That's what I was gonna say. You can relate.
Not goldfish, but chicken, yeah.
And as you get older, and I think now Nels can tell you, I'd be like, nah, that's nasty. It is what it is. We both have our things where it's like, nah, I'm not touching it, right? But I think that we're at least open to try, expand our minds, and be like, and I realize, and I hate to say it, men, this is what you call an upgrade. I could never date someone like that again. Even if you give me the I don't like it, the fact that you're willing to try it means a lot. Just the fact that you're willing to open your mind, whether you quit it or not.
Let me say this. I know me. Yes, it means a lot that you're willing to try it, right? But I kind of like someone who already knows what they like, who've already tried a bunch of things. And it's really a turn off for me.
Introduce me to shit.
For me, like it's kind of a turn off when you eat like a child. Like goldfish, chicken nuggets, French fries, and shit like it's a turn off. It's a turn off, especially when you've been with someone who eats like a grown man. Trust me, it's hard as fuck, and it's not something you ever want to go back to. I'm just saying.
I never.
I never will. Trust me, neither will I.
now that I know what scallops and lobster taste like,
because I eat like a grown woman. We eat like grown women. We don't do chicken nuggets and French fries. So
on a real,
we can't be with no men that eat like little kids. So anyway. Yes, apparently Mark the Shark likes goldfish. I don't know. That could be why he called Mark the Shark for real. Nigga like fish.
Good point. Good point.
So basically, Lizzie's like, no, the Mark the Shark chapter is not closing. I am just Mrs. MTS. And she is claiming that. She's putting a stamp on it. That's who she is. They let her know that, Mark wears his heart on his sleeve, which I feel like we probably figured that. Lindsay's like, I can relate. Her too. Also, she loves the fact that she's got someone who is emotionally available, which is a huge deal. That's huge. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And she goes into a conversation about his mother and, what's that like? How do I navigate that?
You to be supportive. And I told you, I'm here for Lindsay.
Exactly. And they're just like, he just wants to make sure she's safe, that she's safe at all times. And she's like, I used to be a hospice nurse. I completely get it. I understand. Like it's not even a thing. It's not even an issue. And I love that the friends loved her so much. They're like, she is the yin to his yang. Like, their personality.
She's like a breath of fresh air because she's going to take him out of this childlike, I do it this way, what I do, and open his mind to other things, which he
apparently she's a traveler. He don't really travel. I hope she opens his mind to that. Like, there's just so much, and the friends feel like they're kind of opposites, but they're gonna click and they're gonna fit right into each other. I thought it was so cute that they have all these cats, or I think he has 2 and she has 3. She's like, no, we can't do 5 cats.
He has 3, she has 2.
Oh, she has 2. Okay. She's like, housewarming. I'm giving out cats. You get a cat. You get a cat. You get a cat. Everybody leaving with a cat for the housewarming party. I thought that was so freaking cute. Then we got Mark the Shark. You know, it's not as easy going over there. You know, they got him a Lindsay survival kit.
With the no button. I love that.
So in the gift, there's a larvar and a no button. Apparently, this is what he needs to navigate through Lindsay. Okay.
And I can see how
feel like
she's so strong. I can see how telling her no
ain't gonna work. They were like, you know, she needs to be told something, needs to be told no every now and then. Like, yes, it's great if you treat her like a princess, treat her like a queen, but tell that bitch no a couple times, okay? Or else the bitch is gonna walk all over you. And basically the dad, and I love his face here because the dad is basically like, you know, she needs somebody to reel her in because she goes off the deep end quite frequently. So she needs somebody to reel her in. And also, don't get on that bitch's bad side. And I can see that. I can see that for Lindsay because she is such a sweetheart. She seems like such a great, genuine person, but she seems like she ain't to be fucked with. And Mark, the shark, is gonna turn into a minnow fucking with this bitch, cuz.
Ooh, he said minnow.
For real. So we are sitting down with Chris, and he is sitting down with Alyssa's mom and her friend Taylor. You know, they want details from the night before, and he let it be known. Your homegirl basically she ain't fucking with me. She ain't feeling me. Huh?
No, she played the shit out of him. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm trying
basically she let him know that like that they're not compatible and they would just be better as friends. And you know, the mom is like, well, you know, maybe to start is like that. But the friend Taylor, she lets him know, like, you know, Alyssa is very particular about her men, but she thinks that the honeymoon will help. The honeymoon will help, you know, make her feel more comfortable and, you know, help them catch a vibe. But the mom is just so hell bent. Like she's like, no,
he's such a good guy. I don't understand. You know, he's a great person. He seems like a really great person. I don't want to. She'll come around, and I'm like, you don't know who you raised, clearly.
She's like, you know, he'll center her.
Mother's fault by any
means. Huh?
I said, I don't think this is the mother's fault by any means. It's just her.
No, the mom is very hopeful. Just, I mean, at this point, you know what? I just feel like Chris deserves better. I'm not hopeful. I understand why the mom is hopeful because she would want a guy like this to be her son-in-law.
Because her last guy that she probably thought
she clearly didn't learn shit.
Left her.
She clearly didn't learn shit. That's the type of nigga she like. She like motherfuckers like that. I think Chris deserves better than Alyssa, and I think he need to be matched up again. I think, you know what? I feel like they need to kick this bitch off the show and find him somebody else.
I don't feel like he deserved to get to go on a honeymoon, try to enjoy the trip. You know what I mean?
It would be amazing if they kicked this bitch off the show and found him someone else. I think that would be amazing. But I guess, you know, they're
married again, but it is what it is.
So then Alyssa, you know, she sits down with his friends and family, and they're like, oh, you must have a bunch of questions for us. Nope. This bitch ain't got no questions. She don't give two fucks.
Because I don't plan on getting to know y'all. I'm on decision day. I'm leaving him.
Exactly. And the mom says, oh, you know, I think they did a great job. I think y'all are a good match. If you could have saw Alyssa's face, like, oh, did you? So she's basically saying, you know, she's not comfortable saying how their night before went and, you know, how they're getting along. So it's probably because she was being a bitch. that she doesn't feel comfortable talking about her bitchy ass ways. So, you know, the friends, I don't know his name, but he gets into the work that Chris does. And I believe he does real estate.
Yeah.
And apparently he's always on his phone and always working. And he didn't necessarily want to say that you would come second to his job, but that's basically what he was saying. That's what Alyssa got from it.
Well,
and Alyssa
got that from it because she's looking for more reasons.
Exactly. Of course. She's like, you're looking for a wife, but you don't have a work-life balance. Ma'am, who gives a fuck? You don't want him in.
You don't like him.
You don't give exactly. So
to build, and that's what irritates me. You're trying to somehow make yourself the victim. Let's go. I can't.
It's literally like she's trying to build up a case against
Olajuwon and Katina, and she meets with what I guess is supposed to be like Olajuwon's second mom, but someone very close to him in his life. And he meets with her girls that we saw at the wedding. Who was this guy?
One of her friends. I don't know his name, but he was not feeling Olajuwon.
He was not. And I don't know who the second girl is. Is she a friend too?
Yes, I believe they're all friends. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that they're all friends.
Okay, I'm gonna mind my business.
I know that they are smitten with the Olajuwon over here. She's a little too hard for me. But basically,
of course, they inquire whether they did the nasty.
Exactly. And he's like, no, but apparently, I need to work on my cuddle game, according to Katina. And, I don't know who Mr. is over here, the friend over here, Mr. But he's basically like, do you believe in the process or do you have ulterior motives?
He just came out the gate swinging. But my thing is, in my opinion, I don't think Olajuwon gave anything that was warranted that. But I have read when I was tweeting, I did read comments when they were like, when a man talks too much and and talks too long and can't get straight and he's talking around the answer, then you should be. And I was like, oh, damn. So a lot of people felt like Olajuwon was giving bullshit as well.
Well, I know Olajuwon was like, I don't have a problem getting girls and, that's not what I'm on here for. And that's not what the friend meant. He meant, sir, you on the show to blow up.
Exactly.
Which it does. I mean, now we know who you are. You know what I mean? Your social media, I'm sure, blew up after this shit. So
still ain't accepted our invite, but that's okay.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. All right. Olajuwon, did you hear what she said?
He probably don't like us talking about him and his dirty drawers.
Well, basically the friend let it be known, look, I ain't feeling him or his bullshit answers. So I know he's good in with the girls, but homeboy over here ain't feeling him. And then Katina is sitting down with Olajuwon's mom, and basically, Katina lets her know that, I feel like he's genuine. He did tell me about his past and how, he used to play girls. And the mom is like, oh, okay, well, at least he's being honest. Open communication. Open communication is, very important. But I do know that, well, she asked, do you feel like he was ready for this process? She's like, I do know he wanted a wife and kids. I feel like that wasn't like a real answer, but whatever. So she gives Katina a gift, and apparently it's a shirt that she used to wear to his games. And she's like, now you can be his cheerleader. I'm passing that torch to you. I thought that was so cute.
It was cute. It was cute.
I thought that was super duper cute. That was super dope. She clearly thought about, what she was gonna do, what she was gonna say before she came. I thought it was, I like thought out shit, Yeah. So I thought that was
like, take this gift and let me eat this food because I gotta go to work.
Yeah, basically. know, all the couples got back up together and they discussed the conversations that they had with their families. So we're gonna start with Jasmina and Michael. Basically, Jasmina is on cloud 9. She's like, your sisters fuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is what it is. They are sold on her. Michael is like, your mom is not so much, you know, she ain't sold on me. She wasn't, you know, she wasn't mean, she wasn't disrespectful, but she still has concerns, which I think is different for a female versus a male.
Absolutely.
It's expected. And then you know, with Lindsay and Mark the Shark, Mark is like, yeah, you know, they gave me a survival kit that had a no button. And she's like, oh my God, I like that. Can I use it? I thought it was so cute. He pushed the button. It was like, no, no, no. And she's like, well, what annoying thing did my dad say? Because he always does that shit. You know, he told me you need to be reeled back in, basically. And she's like, yeah, you okay. Well, you know, that sounds about right.
At least she knows herself. I love Lindsay, y'all.
Noi explains that, they spoke about him being unemployed.
Steve lets him know that Sriracha got in that ass.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Sriracha basically, she was like, Sriracha's real. Like, Sriracha gonna give it to you straight. But when Noi spoke with his family, they spoke about him being unemployed. And she's like, we need to discuss that. We need to have a conversation about that. And he's like, yeah, we'll have a conversation about that to see, if and where I'm going to have a full-time job. Now, the if and I can understand the where, but the if.
That was the part for me.
The if. Okay, well,
and this is what you gave me so much shit.
Because it
doesn't matter if you don't want to work. You could have many degrees, but if you ain't gonna use them bitches, does it matter?
I feel like maybe you shouldn't have been on the show if you didn't plan on
getting a job.
Or, I mean, sir, unless you have another source of income, we're not saying like you have to work. You ain't gotta work for the man. Okay.
Like, what's his name? Chris, and you do real estate and you could sell a house and live off of that for 3-4 months.
Or, if you have like your own business or so, where, I mean, something that makes money for you where you don't have to work, so be it. But that's not seeming what the situation is. So then Olajuwon sits down with, Katina. Katina lets him know, your mom gave me your hats and your shirts from your football games. He's like, oh, that was super dope. And she's like, well, did you learn anything from my friends? And he's like, no. Nope, I sure didn't. That they questioned me. Well, that Jelani was his name. Yeah. Jelani questioned him. The girls were fine. They were great with him, but basically, he was questioning his motives, and she was like, well, he's a good judge of character. He's like, no, I don't think he's a good judge of character, but I don't really know him like that. So Katina feels like, she might need to talk to her friends and see, what's going on and what red flags they see that she doesn't. So they get back to their rooms, and as Tree stated, they were surprised with a gift basket, letting them know that they're going to Puerto Rico. Oh, Puerto Rico. So I don't know if, maybe Michael doesn't travel or something, but he didn't even know what the bag tag was. He's like, what the hell is this? And then
I love, yes. She's like, it's a luggage tag. It's a luggage tag.
Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, I've never been out the
country. He was giving Z.
I'm glad he caught himself when he said, he's about to say, I ain't never been out the country before. I'm so glad he caught himself. He was like, well, you know, Puerto
It's
Rico
not
is part
really
of
out
the
the
US.
country, but it's the furthest I've been.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, come on, don't do this. Don't do this.
Look, and can I tell you something, Michael? We have that in common. I would just never say it was out the country, but we have that in common. That's the furthest I've been to. So I ain't mad at
Jesus Christ. Now we get into Alyssa and Chris. Okay. So he wants to follow the advice that the best friend gave. And give her some time. But
this backfires. This backfires because Alyssa's not a very nice person, and so no matter what he does, because she doesn't fucking like him, let's just boil down to the it of it, she just doesn't like him, and she doesn't necessarily even have a reason. She won't even get the chance to get to know him. She has just made it up in her mind that she does not like him. So therefore, he goes on to say, well, what would you like to do when we get to Puerto Rico? Would you like to go shop? Let's go do, and everything he said, it was no, well, I like this, or it was the exact opposite, meaning you can do what you want to do in Puerto Rico, but I plan on being by my damn self. Please kick her off the show.
He's like, oh yeah, we can go explore. And she's like, oh, I'm not really an explorer on vacation. Oh, well, we can go shopping. Oh, no, I just kind of like to chill by the beach. He's like, oh yeah, this is perfect for the beach. And she was not at all feeling that. But he did ask her, which I love. I don't know. I just love his energy. He's like, how do you feel going on this trip with me? You know what this bitch said? Oh yeah, she's fine. She can't wait to see the other couples. She wants to hang out with the other couples. Bitch, that's not what you're there for. So if that's what you have in mind, yes, you need to leave the show. I wish Lifetime, and I don't know because we're not that far ahead, but I wish Lifetime would have let this bitch go, annulled it, let this bitch go, and gave him a redo. Or bring him back next season or something. Let this bitch go. We're gonna start off, everybody touched down in the airport. Apparently, Alyssa's being super duper cold to Chris. She literally just walked past him. You can see her in this picture away from the entire group. Just like the bitch she is. Okay. Over to the right, you can see everybody loaded up in the bus, ready to go to the hotel, but only people missing and who don't have a blue light, you can tell it they're separated, is Mark the Shark and Lindsay. They decided to get their own ride to the hotel. Now, according to Elijah Wan, what happened was on the plane, Lindsay asked him, do you speak Spanish? He's like, oh, a little bit. But when I get there, I'm going to speak English because that's what I feel comfortable speaking. And she says, oh, no, you have to speak Spanish because that's their native language. Or, well, he said native land or something like that, but it was probably native language, right? So he's like, Lindsay, you just worry about your husband, okay? And I'm going to say this, even though it was said later in the scene, I don't give a shit. Katina says that she walked off after that, talking about she wants to fight him. I am okay with this disagreement. What I'm not okay with is, so when they all get to the hotel, Mark the Shark, tells her, go upstairs, go take a shower, go chill out, whatever. I'll go talk to the group. And Lindsay is doing a confessional scene and she doesn't mention at all what she said. She doesn't mention at all. What she says is, oh, we were joking on the plane. Never once did she go into detail. What she said was that one of the husbands were being aggressive with her. And she, she felt triggered by it and it shook her at her core. but she has the best husband in the world because, you know, he made her feel safe and cared for. The issue that I have is Olajuwon literally laid out what happened. So we can determine not who's right or wrong, but we can see both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But the way Lindsay laid it out is, oh my God, somebody was being aggressive towards you. Oh my God, somebody made you feel triggered. Somebody shook you at your core. But you never stated what took it there. All you said was, I was joking. We were joking. Bitch, it's all fun games until you're talking about fighting somebody. And I understand why Katina said what she said. Don't bring that bitch around me. Because you're talking about fighting my husband now. So, Alyssa. Jesus effing Christ, Alyssa. Chris lets us know that Alyssa is not even interacting with him. Like, this bitch
All
is
the
just
other couples are doing their thing. She's off by herself. She's like to the point that the couples notice it. Like, we don't know what's wrong with it. And even Chris said,
well, no, not even off by herself, just away from him. She's just not interacting with him, which is even more awkward. They have a moment with Michael, and I guess they ask him, like, you know, have you, like, what's going on with you know, Chris and Alyssa? And he's like, you know, it's awkward and there's tension. And Chris is like, you know, none of the couples have asked him, like, hey, how was your night of the wedding? Like, what's going on with you? Because everybody knows that something's going on. Like, there is clearly something that happened. It's tense. It's awkward. Nobody want to touch on it. Nobody want to deal with that shit. They're like, I'm here to enjoy myself. I'm here to get drunk and fucked up. I ain't hear about nobody else's business but my own. So everybody sits down, you know, they ready for their pina coladas, and Mark the Shark shows up. And I love the fact that as soon as Mark showed up, he didn't say, hey guys, what's up? I mean, it still would have been fine. But he's like, you know what? I apologize. I apologize for what happened on my team. You know what I mean? And
I like that a lot.
You know, and he's like, I explained to Lindsay, like, you're always at a 10. And, you know, people, they have buttons, like you have buttons. And I just want us to all get along. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people have a past. You have a past. Like, not everybody is going to
do what
be okay. Exactly. With all the shit that comes out your mouth, basically. And someone, I'm not sure because they didn't put the camera on them, but somebody asked Olajuwon, so would you be okay with Lindsay if she apologized to you? And he's like, no, you know what? There's no apology needed. Like, I just want to move on. I just want to have a good time. There's no apology needed. But that lets me know that whatever the fuck happened on the airplane, they felt like he deserved an apology from Lindsay. But what her punk ass do? Sat upstairs in her hotel room on her balcony talking to the goddamn camera about how hurt and triggered she was, rather than putting on her big girl panties and coming downstairs and saying, I was fucked up and I was wrong. But we ain't gonna touch on that. Katina still ain't over it. She's like, you know, I'm gonna keep it friendly, surface level. But she's not my type of person.
Too long.
Basically, she got a little bit too much personality for me. It's too much. So just, we ain't gonna be friends. But, you know, I'll be around her when I have to.
Right.
Pretty much. And I feel it. Nigga, don't be coming at my husband and think we about to be A1 day ones, okay? Then we have Michael and Jasmina. And, you know, Michael is, you know, talking about how they got off to a rocky start. And she's like, well, you know, I wouldn't really call it a rocky start. He was like, no, I assumed that this was going to happen. She's like, how you assume that it was going to happen? Well,
Before
because, huh?
before it happened, how you gonna assume it was gonna happen?
Exactly. She's like, well, basically, like, if people would just respect each other's boundaries, like, it would, shit like this wouldn't happen. He was like, well, getting to know people, you don't know their boundaries, which I feel like he had a valid point in that situation. But she's like, we're just gonna agree to disagree. He's like, so what are you saying? Like, you don't agree with me? Like, she's like, she's like, no, it's not that. I just don't wake up saying, because I don't know people, I assume that we're going to have some type of disagreement, that it's going to be conflict. So I understood her in that situation as well. She's basically saying, I'm willing to get to know people. I'm willing to, go into it with the right frame of mind. Then this motherfucker, what he say? I assumed that this conflict was going to happen.
Bless your heart, Michael.
And, I feel like, it probably doesn't help that she had like a little bug in her ear that, he's negative and, he assumes the worst, initially. So he's basically, oh, well, I asked, I don't know what he meant by this, but he's like, yeah, I asked him for someone who can challenge me, but I need to figure out if that's really what I want. What does that mean, sir? Because she can challenge you and shut your shit down, you don't even mad at her no more. Is that what I'm getting to?
That's what it gave me.
Chris and Alyssa. They go out on the balcony to have a conversation, and basically Chris is battling with whether he should continue to try or not. And I completely get it. Chris, no, you should not.
Give up a minute ago.
You should not continue to try. So Alyssa, she's looking off at the balcony. She's like, yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. He's like, yeah, it's beautiful, but are you going to stay here? And she's like, no, I'm not comfortable staying in the same room. Bitch, like this ain't some shit you signed up for. You didn't sign up to stay in the same room with your husband.
No, she said not with somebody I don't know. Like she didn't know she was marrying somebody she didn't know.
That's my point. And Chris is like, he didn't say it to her, but he's like, this is a ridiculous notion. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
This is bullshit. That's what it is.
Exactly. He's like, you wanted to speak. Well, first you didn't want to speak. Then you wanted to speak with no mics and no cameras. I basically feel like you tapped out and you gave this no effort, and I feel like you were looking for the perfect person. And Alyssa is like, I feel like I got gypped, you got gypped, and there's been problems from the second that we met, and we have differences in every shape and form. And do you feel like I'm lying about not giving this a chance? You motherfucking right, bitch. This is day 2 of your marriage. And you coming up with all this bullshit as to why it would never work. You gave it a chance though? And what time did y'all spend together? Because y'all don't sleep in the same room. It's not like y'all go to bed together, wake up together.
Separate yourself every time you're in any type of anything with him. So what time have you spent?
What I don't understand is how she got pissed off that he said, yes, I believe that you're lying. And then she brought up the conversation that he had with her family. I mean, when I'm finding out new things and you're telling my family about, what happened with us. And he's like, well, what was I supposed to do? They asked how it went. Well, you shouldn't have told them that. I didn't tell your family. Bitch, why is it a secret?
Because it makes her
Why is it a secret?
Because it makes her look bad.
And it should, bitch, because you're being a bitch. I don't even understand. Like, it's pissing me off that she's still on the show. It's pissing me off that she's on the show.
Next time, fix it, because we are not happy.
So, we're going to continue a little bit with Alyssa and Chris because Chris has come to the realization that this bitch is gaslighting him. What upsets me is, although he's realizing it, he's still willing to try.
He has yet to go to the producers, and I don't know if they're just trying to enjoy the vacation and shit. It's Puerto Rico. I would too. But to have to be in this situation and be around this man that you claim you don't want to be with that badly, bitch, you might as well wait for Mr. Right and have him take you to Puerto Rico, but to sit around here and not participate in the process and not even try. And like Chris said, she didn't even try. She tried.
I think
the only thing she tried was to try to find a reason to not like him.
Mm-hmm. More reasons to not like him. I don't know. I just feel bad for Chris. I'm going to continue to say that because he seems like a great, genuine guy. Apparently one that she does not deserve. She deserves the motherfucker that takes her to look at rings and then leaves her ass. That's what the fuck she wants. That's what the fuck she deserves. She's not ready for a real man who, you know, she's too superficial. She's too superficial. So we are going to move on to Katina and Olajuwon. And they were sitting down having a conversation about, you know, what happened earlier. And he lets her know, you know, I appreciate, you know, you standing up for me and stepping up, you know, like a little chihuahua, you know, little chihuahua guard dog and shit. You know, you have my back and I appreciate it because I would definitely, you know, have yours. And he's, you know, he lets her know, which I thought was super grown, super adult. He's like, I just want you to get past it. I want you to get past it because when you dwell on things, you're going to be aggravated and annoyed anytime this woman comes around you. So just let it go. Let it go. We're here to have a good time. We're here to work on our marriage, to get to know each other. And that's it. That's all I want.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
so much for tuning in to another review of Married at First Sight. Yeah, I'm over Alyssa.
I knew that was coming.
Please, can we sign a petition? Lifetime. I want her off the show. Like I want.
You know they recorded it all already, right?
No, I want them to pull an Alina from like before the 90 days. Like
just pull whatever she in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can just bring her back for the reunion so she can talk about how fucked up she was. That's where I'm at.
You know, like other motherfuckers, she might call it editing.
Girl, bad. But no, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button,
comment,
subscribe,
and hit the notification bell. And we just want to let you guys know we appreciate that you're actually doing it.
Okay. We so appreciate.
We love reading your comments. We love seeing your likes and your views. We love it.
And we so appreciate it. We appreciate the follows. And like I said, it's free for y'all. It means everything to us. So thanks so much. And we will catch you next week for another episode of Married at First Sight. It'll be virtual because will it be virtual? No, that one won't be virtual. But well, it will be. But long story, guys. I'm traveling. That's all you need to know. But anyway, have a good night, y'all. Mwah.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!